Hey everybody, welcome. It's me, John, aka Nosy, and yeah, it's taken me a couple of weeks to respond to this, but I've been doing my own videos as well and my own questions. But today, I am finally responding to Mr. Tony, SoundwaveSG-1, his questions. He did. I just literally just watched his video properly now, or this evening. And he did 9. Well, I counted 9. I thought, I actually rewatched the end of it, and it is just 9. He didn't actually do a 10th. Not really, anyway. But anyway, so there's 9 questions by Tony. So SoundwaveSG-1. So yes, that's what I'm going to do today. So my response to him. I'm going to get straight into it because I don't have a lot of time. I'm doing this literally about an hour and a half before I'm due to set off for work. So I'm going to try and get this out as fairly quickly, and get it uploaded. But yeah, so I've written them all down. So here we go then. When are you getting there, number 1? Also, by the way, just to let people know, I will post, if anybody else out there have yet to do responses that are going this year, I will put in the description box all the questions in the description box below so that people can actually see them physically instead of them just being on the screen. A lot of people prefer them so they can just copy and paste them, so they've actually got a reference point when they do these, or if they do a response and that. So that's what I'll be doing. Like I did with mine, I'll be doing them for this video as well. So yeah, number 1, when are you getting there? So I will be arriving or travelling Thursday. So I'll be leaving from Hull via the coach, National Express coach. I don't drive. I don't see the point personally. It's just, some people have asked me a few times, like, I don't understand, why don't you drive, and this, that, and the other, but I'm just like, well, I don't see the point. It's just a very, very boring, a very boring duration, just nothing but motorway all the way down there. And also, I'd have to be a lot more careful and watch my consumption throughout the weekend, so I won't be able to really enjoy myself as much as I would like. Some people don't get this point, but I don't see it as a holiday from driving or from having to drive, because at the end of the day, it kind of takes a little bit of the shine off for me because I've got to be the designated driver, if you know what I mean. But each to their own. Quite a lot of people drive to TFNation, but that's all well and dandy. Everybody's different. If those people are prepared to do that, then all power to you. But for me personally, I don't drive. I let somebody else do the driving. So that's why National Express is a hell of a lot cheaper than train. That's why I go via the train. It's the same duration as a train journey, but I'm going via the coach. It's the same duration from Hull to Birmingham. There's no direct route either. Via the train, there's no direct route. It's pretty much it's no direct route. You pretty much just go. I think it's either Sheffield. It's usually Sheffield, I believe, that you have to change at, and then you get another train from Sheffield the rest of the way to Birmingham. And yeah, it's not a direct route, and it's an absolute pain in the ass, especially if you've got cases, if you've got like a big case and everything, and it gets ridiculous on the train. So I don't do train to Birmingham anymore. So that's why I decided to go via the coach, because it's a hell of a lot easier, it's a lot cheaper. It literally cost me 40 quid there and back, 20 quid each way. Tell me if anybody out there, that you're not going to be, you're going to be pretty hard to get anything cheaper going via the train, or yeah, you could drive, but it's going to at least cost you possibly a full tank of juice there and back. So that's going to be at least 50, 60 quid. So it's a cheaper alternative, and it's worked out perfectly for me personally over the years. But anyway, so to carry on answering the number one, so I'll be travelling up via the National Express coach to Birmingham on the Thursday. So I'll be setting off from Hull on the Thursday, getting to Birmingham coach station for around about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And then, which is Digbeth coach station in Birmingham City Centre. I'll be meeting Lawrence, my good friend Lawrence. I'll be meeting him at the coach station. And then me and him will be going across to catch the train to Birmingham International, going to New Street Station. All being well, hopefully, that there's no train strikes or anything like that. I don't think there is at the moment. But yeah, so hopefully going to go across to New Street, get the train, and instead of getting a taxi, because it's just going to be two of us. And so I should be rocking up at the hotel on the Thursday for about 3 o'clock, give or take, maybe half 2, 3 o'clock, depending on train times. Hopefully it shouldn't, I can't see us waiting an hour for basically just a 10-15 minute jaunt up the track to the other station, International, but we'll wait and see, I guess. Number two, question number two, what is the thing, or what are you hoping to get, pretty much? So basically, this is going to be a pretty quick answer to this question. I don't do lists. I don't really have anything specific that I'm looking out for. Money isn't great this year. I've basically got enough money to see me through for food and drink for the weekend, because that in itself, food and drink for the weekend, is going to be expensive. Just being able to feed myself and hydrate and have a couple of drinks and that over the weekend, that's gonna set me back quite a lot. Even though I'm gonna probably bring some alcohol with me, which is the usual thing. I usually bring like a pack of beer or something, and leave that in the hotel room and just go back over the weekend and just make it last me to try and save a little bit of cash. But I would say, probably just to name one figure, I would like to maybe try and get a Studio Series 86 Grimlock, maybe a tall order. I've had a look online, and the prices for that thing on eBay at the moment is over 100 quid. Yeah, I'm telling you now, over 100 quid for for a boxed Grimlock, SS86 Grimlock. I don't understand what's going on there, but all the other, like In Demand and Kapow and everybody, are all out of stock. Every single toy shop is out of stock with that figure. So whether I'll be able to get one, I don't really care if it's not boxed. If it's a loose figure, then I don't care. I don't keep boxes anyway, because I don't have the space for the boxes. So if it's a loose one, I'm happy to just buy a loose one. If it's boxed, it's boxed. I don't mind either way. But that is a figure I would like to try and pick up, because I've got Sludge, SS86 Sludge. I pre-ordered, is it Snarl? There's a new one. There's another one coming out on 1st of August. I've pre-ordered from Zavi. Another downer bought SS86. So essentially, I have two. Well, hopefully once that comes, I'll have two of them. I would like to get the whole set of them. So yeah, basically SS86 Grimlock, I would love to try and pick up. Beast Wars stuff is always nice. Definitely go to Toy Foo, see what they've got. Maybe pick up some Beast Wars basics again, because I do love my Beast Wars basics. If I find some sort of obscure, weird little bot from Beast Wars, I always try and pick that up, even if it's for a couple quid or something. But yeah, so I'll be definitely having a look around Toy Foo and see what they've got to offer. Yeah, that's pretty much going to be my answer to that, because I don't know what's going to be on offer until I actually get there and I actually start having a good look around the dealer room. So like everybody else, I'll find out on the Saturday what's in store and what's on offer. But I usually, if I gravitate towards something or something catches my eye, that's usually how I operate. I'm not a completist collector. I just go to whatever I like, whatever different lands, not necessarily just Transformers, anything in particular. I just gravitate towards anything that appeals to me. That's just how I am with it all, really. So, number 3, what is on your playlist? Well, seeing as I'll be travelling on my own this year, for the first time ever, seriously, in the history of me going to these conventions since 2010. So since 2010, I've shared either with Sam and Tony, or just me and Sam, or me, Sam and Tony. It's usually been 2 or 3 of us travelling together. But this year I'm going to be on my own, so I'm gonna be definitely listening to music all the way there, or watching maybe a bit of Netflix or something. But on my playlist, obviously, I've got to do it. It's gonna have to be the Transformers '86 soundtrack. I always do it every year. The Touch, Dare, Weird Al, the whole shebang. I always listen to those songs, and then probably whatever else is on my Spotify, like metal, a bit of Black Sabbath, bit of Metallica, bit of alternate rock, bit of punk rock, bit of classic rock like Guns N' Roses, a bit of Alice Cooper, anything really that I've got in my playlist on Spotify. So yeah, it's going to be a nice mix of different things that I've got in my playlist. But so that will be pretty much what I'll be listening to on my travels. Number 4 is, are you getting autographs? Excuse me. Well, the thing is, I don't usually get autographs anymore. I don't usually. Basically, for the last couple of years, all I've done is get a photograph with the special guests of honour, the voice actors. For me personally, I think having a photograph stood next to them, for me personally, I'm happy with that, because a photograph can last forever. You can literally, obviously it's taken on my phone, so it's digital. I can put it somewhere nice and safe. Usually I post it on Facebook anyway, so that it's at least safe, and I've got some sort of backup so I can always see it. Whenever I meet a guest, a special guest, voice actor, whatever, I always kind of try and get a photograph over an autograph, if that makes sense. Because that to me is that, I've got a nice photograph with them and it's memories. An autograph, unless you keep it in a very safe place and away from direct sunlight and everything, you might be all right. It might keep for a long time, but I've had stuff autographed in the past and it's faded really badly because I've got nowhere to really put it. My bedroom, I get complete direct light straight through. I've got quite a big window quite a big window, so it lets in a hell of a lot of light. And unfortunately, some stuff I've had signed in the past has been knackered. So that's usually one reason. But this year I might make an exception because of Sue Blue. I am thinking I might try and get a studio series, or I might try and pick up an RC figure, whether an animated one or an SS Studio Series one, whatever. I might try and pick one up that's boxed, and I might see if, try and get that signed as well as a photograph with her. Or I might even bring a copy of my 86 movie. I've got about 2 or 3 different versions of it, so I might bring one of those to get signed by her as well, seeing as she was G1RC as well as RC and animated, and also there's Beast Wars as well, because she was the voice director, and obviously she did additional voicing on it as well. So I don't know, we'll wait and see, but I'm thinking this once I might get Sue Blue to sign something, and also a photograph of her, if possible. Question number 5 is, will you be getting any art commissions done? No, I won't be. There's only ever been one art commission I've ever had done over the history, and it was It was actually not by one of the official artists. I wouldn't say official artists. That's a bit disrespectful. But basically, the artists of guests of honor artists, they're actually at the convention. I've never had an art commission done by any of those artists, except for Auto Assembly. There was one guy that did a special art commission for me. I can't remember his name now, but it was at an Auto Assembly. But since TFNation started, I've never had an art commission done by a guest of honor, an artist that's a guest of honor. But I have had one done by a guy called Robert Coy. He basically did like a special art commission for me, which was Soundwave, but done in the art style of GoldenEye, the poster for GoldenEye. So it's basically Soundwave holding Megatron, but in the pose of GoldenEye, James Bond in GoldenEye poster. So that was a real cool little idea that I've come up with, and so that's the only art commission I've ever had done by an artist of some description. But no, this year I definitely don't have any commissions to pick up, or I've not done any anyway. I might maybe try and pick up maybe some art, depending on money. I do like to pick up posters and artwork and everything. That, if something like I like that, I might maybe do that, but we'll see. 6. Any Transformers Tat? Will you be picking up any Transformers Tat? I don't know really. I don't usually, what it means by tat, it means anything that's maybe Transformers related, but it's not like a figure. It could be like a lunchbox or something, novelty thing like that. I don't know really. I don't really buy anything Tat related. I guess again I'll have to find out when I'm there on the Saturday and Sunday if there's anything that's quite fun. Something that isn't a figure that's Transformers related, and it looks, I quite like that, it's quite fun. I might maybe pick it up depending on how much it is. But I usually don't really do that. I usually just, if something takes my fancy, then I will, if I've got enough money to cover it, then I will do that. I will pick it up. That's usually just how I roll when it comes to conventions these days. Because I've learned a very harsh lesson in the past of paying way too much money out, kind of like walking through and then basically spending a ridiculous amount of money and going home with loads and loads of toys and just not really, basically anything, buying just too much stuff and just not appreciating it at the end of the day. So I've learnt a harsh lesson there. The first 2 auto assemblies, I went through so much money, and yeah, I went through so much money in those first 2 years, and I just decided to myself, you know what, don't go over a list, and just, nowadays, when I buy stuff nowadays, it's mostly just, obviously when I went to TFN Minicon, I bought 4 things. That whole day I bought 4 things, and I appreciate those 4 things I got. One of those things was the final component from a Menasor, Legacy Menasor. Very happy at that, so I've got a complete Menasor now. And there was a couple of other things that the other 3 things I got off of Toy Fu. I got a free pack of the Coneheads, a Takara Tomy set of the Coneheads thrust Ramjet and that and Dage and everyone. So yeah, so I got a 3-pack of them, which I was happy with. And then another thing as well, I can't remember now, but I only got about four things, and I was very, very happy with what I got. So yeah, that's usually how I roll now. I don't see the point of like just buying shitloads of stuff unless you go in there specifically. You've been saving up all year, and this is where you buy your toys. Then that's a different matter. But you know, for me personally, I just go whatever I gravitate towards, whether it's 2 or 3 things. If that's all I buy, then I'm happy. You know, I don't, you know, you won't see a mountain of toys anymore when it comes to TFN. Plus, I don't have the room. I've got to be very, very careful of how much I've got because I don't have the space to display half the time. Right, so I'm going to try and make this a bit quicker. So I've got 3 more questions and then I'll be finished. So 7, any other fandoms? Now basically 2 of these questions, there's basically question 7 now and question 9. I just want to say a bit of an apology to Tony. I did 5 questions, and these 2 questions sound very similar to what I asked in my questions. I only did 5. But there was a couple of questions that were talking about panels. One question was talking about what panels are you hoping to go to see, and then there was about fandoms. You know, like what else do you want in the dealer room? It was slightly different. It was asked differently, but yet it meant the same thing. So, but like I say, it's very difficult to not tread on some people's toes when you're asking questions. It's very difficult sometimes. But I just want to apologise to Tony for essentially kind of like repeating a couple of these, even though it wasn't intentional. But anyway, so any other fandoms? Well, yes, I like quite a lot of things other than Transformers. I like anime, so if there's any manga or anime related products in the dealer room, that'll definitely kind of get me interested. I like Power Rangers. I like Mask, G.I. Joe. I like quite a lot of different fandoms, really. So, I mean, like Gundam Mad, Gundam model kits, anything Bandai, anything that guy sells. If he's going to be there this year, then, you know, you know, so usually that's how I roll. Yeah. So I like quite a lot of different things other than Transformers. Number 8, are you a veteran or a noob? I think at this point I'm a veteran. I've been to every TFNation so far, except for the 2 years where it was a virtual event. But every physical event, actual event where we've actually been there physically, I've been to all of those, and I've also, you know, checked out the virtual ones as well when when everything was virtual, unfortunately, for those couple of years. But I've been going to conventions, Auto Assembly, and TFNation since 2010, so I would say I'm a veteran at this point. I feel like a veteran anyway. And then number 9, the last one, any panels. So this is basically what I was alluding to a moment ago. So I apologise. Essentially, I asked the same question in my questions, but hey ho, it's one of them things. But any panels. So yeah, to alliterate essentially what I said, it answered my own question in my questions video. But just to alliterate, yeah, there's going to be quite a few that I'm going to check out. There's quite a few on the Friday that I'm interested in. There's the Gundam one, going into the history about Gundam and Gunpla, model kit building and stuff, and the history of Gundam and Gunpla. That's going to be quite interesting one. Then there's is it Danny Guzens, whatever his name is, the toy, was it toy designer or something, or manager of basically toy designer or something. I will definitely want to check out his panel because I missed out on him last year. So I'm definitely going to try and make a point of seeing that one. There's also one about writing, the writing process. That sounds quite interesting. And then obviously Sue Blue's, David Sebelov's panels. RoboSen, if they do one. There's quite a few. There's quite a few interesting ones actually this year. So once I get the schedule, once I'm handed the schedule and everything, when I register and get my armbands and everything, once I get it all, then I'll be able to kind of look through it all and make a judgment call of what to go and see. And that's all the questions. That's all 9. So thank you very much for watching. My response to Tony. Thank you ever so much for watching. We are about roughly 3 weeks away now, give or take. Yeah, roughly about 3 weeks away until TFNation is finally here. So yeah, thank you ever so much for watching. I will be making some more videos, TFN related videos. I want to kind of do an update a little bit more nearer the time, probably the week before TFNation happens. I probably might do my last update video. I don't know, but I need to try and, you know, leave it as late as possible, just in case there's anything quite big that's announced. I don't think there will be, but I'm deliberately kind of doing that purposely, you know, leaving it as late as possible to do that video. I've got another Transformers review, filmed, edited, ready to upload. That'll be coming out at the weekend, either the Friday or the Saturday. So I've got another Transformers review coming out this weekend. And then, yeah, just go from there, I guess. So yeah, so there's a couple of videos, quite a few videos probably going to come out from me in the next couple of weeks. So yeah, thank you ever so much for watching. So I'm going to go now, and stay awesome, stay safe everybody, and for those that are going to TFN, see you there. If you see me walking about, come and say hello. Don't be shy, I don't bite much. But yeah, so thank you, peace, bye-bye.